Hello, we are continuing with the module 3, and in this session we will be discussing about the construction and working of methanol-oxygen fuel cell. And in the previous classes we have started with the fuel cells, and we already discussed what are fuel cells, in what way they differ from the conventional batteries, and the advantages and disadvantages of the fuel cells we already discussed. And here comes to the construction and working of a methanol-oxygen fuel cell. When this question is asked, you have to start like this. In this methanol fuel cell, we are using the fuel methanol, and the oxidant here is oxygen, and the electrolyte used here is sulfuric acid. Here the methanol and oxygen, the methanol oxygen fuel cell consists of two electrodes made up of platinum. Methanol is used as a fuel and oxygen is used as a oxidant with the sulfuric acid electrolyte. Methanol and oxygen are continuously supplied here from a anode and cathodic electrodes respectively. The electrodes will be porous in nature, and a membrane is inserted close to the cathode. In the absence of this membrane, methanol will be diffusing towards the cathode and undergoes oxidation there. Okay, and there will be a presence of a membrane almost close to the cathode membrane. If the membrane is not there, the methanol will be diffusing towards the cathode and it will undergo oxidation there. To prevent that, there will be a presence of a membrane here, and methanol and oxygen, that is the fuel and oxidant, are passed continuously through the anode and cathode porous electrodes continuously. And in the case of this methanol oxygen fuel cell, why methanol is used as oxidant means that is because it will be chiefly available as it is made from the molasses, and it has a easily oxidizable hydroxyl groups are there, and it dissolves very easily in all electrolytes, aqueous electrolytes. So the methanol is chosen as a fuel here. And in methanol oxygen fuel cells, KOH is not used as an electrolyte. In hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, KOH is used as an electrolyte, but here acid like H2SO4 is used as a electrolyte. Why KOH is not used as an electrolyte means that is because here in the reactions you can see later there will be a liberation of carbon dioxide is there. So if we use KOH, what happens is the carbon dioxide liberated, it will be forming the carbonates, and once when the carbonates are formed, they block the pores of the electrodes and thereby decreasing the efficiency of the fuel cell. So we cannot use potassium hydroxide as an electrolyte. We must use electrolyte like sulfuric acids. Okay, so the methanol fuel is methanol, oxygen is oxidant. Both are supplied through the anodic and cathodic electrodes. Electrolyte used is a sulfuric acid, and there will be a presence of a membrane close to the cathodic chamber. Okay, in the absence of this membrane, the methanol will be easily diffusing towards the cathode and it undergoes oxidation there. So to prevent this reaction, there will be a presence of a membrane here. This is the diagram. The methanol and oxygen are continuously passed into the fuel cell through the anode and cathode electrodes, and at the center you can see there is presence of an electrolyte. At anode, oxidation takes place with the liberation of electrons, and at cathode the electrons liberated will be accepted and the oxygen which is present there gets reduced to water. This is about the diagram of the methanol oxygen fuel cell. Very simple. You have to write porous anode and cathode, and you have to show the passing of the fuel and oxidant, that is methanol and oxygen, in and out of the cell, and you should show the presence of the electrolyte at the center. This is about the reactions. At anode, methanol reacts with the water, and it will be forming carbon dioxide with the H plus ions and electrons. The H plus ions and electrons will be reacting with the oxygen present at the cathode and gets reduced to water. So the overall reaction in a methanol oxygen fuel cell is methanol reacts with the air or oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. This is about the reactions of methanol oxygen fuel cell. Advantages. What are all the advantages of the methanol oxygen fuel cell? Like advantages are methanol has a low carbon content, and the hydroxyl group is easily oxidizable, and methanol is highly soluble in water and is cheaply available as it is produced from a molasses. And where it is used means it is used in a like large scale energy productions, and also in military applications the methanol oxygen fuel cell is used. And the common disadvantages of the fuel cells are, if the fuels or the oxidant used is gases, no, they should be stored under pressure, otherwise it will be decreasing the efficiency of the fuel. So the important points discussed here in the construction and working of the methanol oxygen fuel cell are, you have to start with the writing what is the fuel, what is the oxidant and electrolyte. Fuel is a methanol, okay, oxidant is oxygen, electrolyte is you are writing H2SO4, and you have to write neat label diagram where anode and cathode are made up of porous electrodes. Okay, they will be made up of either platinum and nickel porous electrodes, and then the continuously the fuel and the oxidant, that is the methanol and oxygen, are passed through the anodic and cathodic compartments. There will be a presence of a membrane which is close to the cathode electrode. In the absence of the membrane, the methanol will be diffusing towards the cathode and undergoes oxidation there. Fine. And then methanol is used here as a fuel, that is because it is cheaply available, it has an easily oxidizable hydroxyl groups. Fine. And it also dissolves in almost of the or many of the aqueous electrolytes. Because of this reasons, methanol is used as a fuel here, and we should not supposed to use a KOH as the electrolyte. Okay, that is because in a case of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, as it is not used as electrolyte, potassium hydroxide will be used as electrolyte. Here why it should not be used means because there is a liberation of carbon dioxide here. Okay, in this case where there is a liberation of carbon dioxide, if we use a potassium hydroxide as an electrolyte, what happens is the carbon dioxide will be reacting with the base and will be forming carbonates. Once when the carbonates are formed, what happens, it will be blocking the pores of the electrodes. Okay, once when the pores are blocked, no, we cannot supply the fuel and oxygen through the electrodes, right? So it will be decreasing the efficiency of the fuel cell. Okay, so we cannot use a electrolyte like any base here. Fine. And the advantages are, it is used in and uses are, it is used in military applications, and wherever the larger scale energy productions are required, no, there this methanol oxygen fuel cell is used. Fine. Thank you.